Oh no. Worth it. Okay, I couldn't resist doing that. I just love that music track. Anyway, welcome back. This is Amethyst III, the third map from Stardate 20X7. Unlike in the case of Eastern Sun, there's really not much to say about this level. It's a fancy, abstract space station, and it's quite a departure from other maps in this set. It's relatively short and straightforward. It doesn't have any crazy gimmicks or insane set pieces. There are also no cool details to point out and analyze. So, since this map is, at least in its name, a sequel to the very first level I did in this series, I thought I might go a bit old school and just say everything I want to say during the demo itself instead of detailing the progression in the intro. Like I said, there's really not much to talk about here, so we might as well just cover all the important stuff as we go. Before we do that though, a bit of a background. If you have watched my 20X6 series, you might remember me complaining about obnoxious opening scenarios, specifically in Sector 8 and Violets. Well, in case of Amethyst III, the entire level is just one big, annoying opening section. Everything's mad at you right off the bat, there are snipers everywhere and absolutely no places to hide. The first 2 or 3 minutes determine whether the run is gonna be a success or not. I gotta say I don't really enjoy that, because there are just way too many opportunities to get screwed over by a stray fireball or something. On the positive side, once we take control of the situation, the rest of the map is relatively easy and manageable. When we start the level, we have 3 ways to go. Going left yields a double-barrel shotgun, but it's guarded by sergeants and a revenant. Going straight ahead gives us a soul sphere and also raises the stairs that let us access the platform to the right. Taking the right path lets us acquire the chain gun and a rocket launcher, but unleashes 4 revenants and a cyber demon. I choose to grab the chain gun first to make it easier to steal the SSG, then go through the middle to raise the stairs. Our goal is to get yellow and purple keys, both of which are required to access the exit. So yeah, that's the start. I'll tell you more during the demo. One last thing I want to mention is that this is actually my 4th successful demo of this map. Usually once I beat a difficult level, I just move on, but in this case I really didn't like how the demo looked. It was slow and sloppy and pretty painful to watch. So I kept playing this map until I got a recording that was not a total disaster. It still has a few amazing blunders, but at least it's not as embarrassing as my previous attempts. So let's have a look, shall we? Alright, let's get the chain gun first. I'm trying to get the revenants to infight with something, preferably with the cyber demon. In this demo it worked out really well, but it can go all sorts of ways. You see, that's why I needed the chain gun, to get rid of those sergeants. If you only have a pistol, you have to get really close to grab the SSG, and then you're probably gonna take some damage. It doesn't seem like much, but trust me, all of those small decisions really matter in the long run. This is pretty strange, because we have to go through this area to activate the stairs. And I don't think there's any indication that you're supposed to do this. You just have to run around and eventually you'll notice that the stairs are accessible. So now we're gonna try to secure the platform outside, because that's one of the very few places where we can find some cover from the enemies. So yeah, there's a mancubus, a couple of monsters teleporting in. It's pretty high risk, but we have to take control of this place. This lift behind us takes us to a switch that lowers one of the keys. Though I don't really remember which one, I think it lowers the purple. But we're gonna skip it for now, because it unleashes a couple of cacodemons and pain elementals. Okay, this place is pretty difficult, we have to get rid of those snipers. I don't want to get too close to the rocket launcher because that triggers a pretty big ambush. I need to get this cyber demon a bit closer because there's gonna be a couple of archvals and we need them for infighting. By the way, you probably have noticed those 3 pillars with supplies out there. One of them is a freebie, but the other 2 require keys. So whichever key you get first, it's always a good idea to go there and grab whatever you can. And yeah, I got tired of waiting for that cyber. This is really tough. Do not pick up the rocket launcher right away, because that's a forced weapon switch. Try to take care of the few chain gunners and then wait for the infighting. There are 2 or 3 archvals out there, so we have to be really careful. Now in this run it went really well, but unfortunately there's so much RNG involved that you will probably have a lot of trouble with this area. As always, I choose to play it safe. When we're on this platform, we can get the Cyber Demon to kill all the Archviles for us. Okay, so let me tell you, getting to this point in the run is very difficult. It's actually way harder than I made it look in this demo. There are just hundreds of things that can go wrong here. So the bottom line is that if you can get this far in this level, you pretty much have no excuse, you have to make it to the end. Alright, I think the Archviles are dead, so it's time to take care of the Cyber Demon. And unfortunately this is gonna take a while because we don't have any good weapons here. Anyway, so I really do not like this opening section. It's just so easy to die. Again, you don't see this in the demo because in this demo everything went well. There are many things that you have to be aware of. There are actually a couple of hit scanners in various windows and such. I'm not really paying attention to them because I know they're there, so I'm avoiding them deliberately. But if you play the map for the first time, you will probably not even notice them and they will just keep chipping away your health. Not to mention all the revenants and the mancubi on that fancy platform over there that we're gonna visit later. It's just one big horrible mess. Anyway, to finish the level we need 2 keys. We can actually get them in any order. I think I go after the yellow first because we get the plasma rifle there and like I said, there's a nasty ambush if you try to lower the purple one. But from the progression standpoint, it really doesn't matter. So I'm playing it safe here because I really do not want to die at this point. As I mentioned, the rest of the map is really easy and straightforward, which is kind of surprising actually that we have a map like this in Stardate 20x7. It's an interesting design, there are no set pieces in this level, like the entire level is just one big set piece. Which is actually really refreshing, especially after the last level, which had a lot of really difficult set pieces. Oh, and the Cyber is dead, it's time to proceed. We have to secure this area because it contains a path that leads to the keys. We haven't lowered any keys yet, but I just want to get this out of the way as quickly as possible. First I want to get rid of this Archvile. This is actually our final goal, we have to get to this teleporter that the Archvile is standing on. We have to be careful here because there's a pretty obscure line that triggers the ambush. It's somewhere in the corner to the right. So it's actually a really good trap because there's nothing important there. You'll probably trigger it by accident, you see? And it's a nasty ambush too and unleashes chain gunners and a pain elemental. But I mean, what else do you expect from 20x7? Yeah, we have a berserk so we can punch some things here. That switch near the rockets lowers the lift that takes us to the switch that requires the yellow key. But before that there's a tunnel that leads to the keys themselves. Right, so our next objective is that pit next to the Archvile cage. It contains a plasma rifle and a switch that lowers the yellow key. Oh, and there's also a switch that unlocks the secret fight on that fancy platform that we see right now. Yeah, it's over there, we're gonna see it up close soon enough. I want to finally get rid of those mancubi that have been sniping us all this time. And also kill all those revenants on this balcony. The fight in the pit isn't really that difficult as long as you don't panic. There will be 2 khaki demons and after we press the switch, a couple of revenants and an Archvile. I'm actually gonna do something really stupid there, so look forward to that. These revenants aren't actually much of a pain, but once we teleport onto the secret platform, we're gonna be completely exposed to their fire. By the way, on that balcony there's a switch that opens this cage with the Archvile, with the teleporter. So that's where we need to go. Okay, here we have khaki demons, nothing too dangerous. Unless you jump here before killing all the monsters, then you're in trouble. Now take the plasma and press the switch. Okay, so this is the first major mistake in this run. I should have held the trigger until the Archvile dies, but for some reason I didn't do that. Yeah, I decided it was a good idea to punch him to death. Do not ask why, I don't know, I guess I was just tired from playing this map over and over. But it's fine actually, because in the secret fight we're getting a megasphere, so it doesn't matter how much health we lose here. This is pretty much the centerpiece of this level. The space platforms with those really fancy geometrical shapes on the floor and the ceiling. Oh yeah, and those platforms with the mancubi, they're solid, we can use them as cover. Even though it probably doesn't look like that. So, Ribbiks is using fake floor and ceiling effects on these platforms. What it means is that in terms of the actual geometry, these platforms are completely flat. All those 3D patterns are just a visual effect. Yeah, so right here I noticed my second mistake in this run. I forgot to kill one of the revenants on the pyramid. And this is just a disaster waiting to happen. So instead of hoping for the best, I decided to just go back there and kill the revenant and then come back to the platform. At this point I really did not want to waste this run. And there we go, time to go back and kill the cyber demon. That fight on the platform is just fun, there's really nothing dangerous there. You just have to be careful because for some reason it's always very confusing when the walls are just those light beams or something. Now it's not as bad, but if you've ever played Sunlust, in map 27, the Emerald Spire, there's a similar fight with Barons and Revenants on the Crushers. And there those light beam walls were really getting in the way. And the Cyber is dead, it's time to move on. Now that we have lowered the yellow key, we can go secure the corridor that leads to the keys. Now, this little U-shaped area is pretty strange. There's an invisible trigger line that opens the wall in the middle and also unleashes a couple of chain gunners. But it's actually a lift, so it opens for a couple of seconds and then closes again. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here, I shouldn't have done that actually. I think I heard a Revenant and I was afraid that I'll get boxed in between the Revenant and the Hell Knights on the other side. I think that's the reason why I did this. But it's not even the most embarrassing thing, you're gonna see in a second. I don't think my brain was working really well at that time. But yeah, I've been grinding this level for a couple of hours because I wanted to get a decent demo out of it. Yeah, like, why am I trying to Berserk punch him again? I don't really need shells for the next fight, so I could have just used the double barrel shotgun. I mean, I end up doing this anyway. This switch raised this little pillar over there, so now we can get to the chain gunner monster closet. And the switch there is going to open the tunnel that leads to the keys. Okay, we've got the yellow key, now we can get those rockets from the pillar that we've seen before. And now it's time to lower the purple key. Right now we have a lot of ammo, so this fight is not gonna be a problem. And also we don't have to worry about the other monsters, because we've already cleared the entire area. After we're done with these guys, we're gonna grab the purple key and finally proceed towards the end of the level. There's really just one more major encounter left, and it's actually pretty cool. It's really small scale as well, I mean, you can see how many monsters are left. Anyway, so this level is pretty okay, I mean, it looks really cool, it doesn't play very well, it's best observed from a distance, I guess. It probably looks rather inoffensive when you just watch a demo of it, but believe me, that opening is just a nightmare. I kinda do not want to play this level ever again, actually. Oh, and we are approaching the final embarrassment of this demo. A rather inconsequential one, but still. So the thing is that we have to jump towards the yellow switch, and there is a legitimate way to do this, but I try to be fancy and fail miserably. You see, you can just strafe run over there, and it's actually really easy. But I still managed to fail it like twice in a row. So at this point I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it the legitimate way. And the legitimate way is that you just go into this corridor, use that lift and run across the pillars. See, easy, I should have done that right off the bat. But you know, that always happens, like you try to be fancy, it's like, oh, I'm gonna be cool and just strafe run over there. And in the end you just end up wasting more time than you would have normally. Oh yeah, there's a secret, and now it's time for the fight. So the key in this encounter is just stop once the stairs start going down. Don't rush it and just take care of the Archvile as quickly as possible. Once he's out of the way, it's just a matter of cleaning up. Oh, and don't be tricked into using the plasma rifle right off the bat. You really need all the DPS you can get from the rocket launcher to kill the Archvile. And now you can just blast everything with the plasma. Or the shotgun. We do need some cells because there's gonna be 3 Archviles at the very end. Though I think I was a bit too stingy with the plasma because I end up having way more than necessary. But I mean, no harm done. I mean, at this point there's really no danger anymore. By the way, my apologies for not uploading anything for like 3 months, but it is what it is. No worries though, I am gonna finish what I started here. I felt kinda bad about just leaving those series after 2 episodes, so I am gonna make commentaries for all the other demos that I have. And here we have the final 3 archviles. Also, there's still one more secret that I forgot about, this little switch that we've seen before. There it is, it unlocks a little stash with rockets. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode.